It's Thursday night. Guess what? I must have did something wrong. I did not do the Instagram part right, so that's not a good thing. But anyway, it's Thursday. Ryan's not here, as you can tell, so I'm all a fluster of technological.
And it was last minute.
It was last minute, but still, I should be better at doing some of this, and I'm not. But it's Thursday night. It's another night of Thursday night barbecue chat. I am Steve Kress. I am the grill department manager over at Wanamaker's, the epicenter of grilling and smoking in the western suburbs of Chicago, and host of this wonderful show. And the lovely lady sitting next to me, as you can see, it's not Ryan. So we should have a great show tonight because Ryan's not here. Michelle O'Gwin for Ain't It the Life.
What up, everybody? One of these times I'm going to get a beard and just
wear the beard when you're filling in.
Yeah. I think that'd be awesome.
That'd
be creepy, but funny at the same time.
It would be funny as hell, but that would be perfect for the show.
It would be great for the Halloween show.
I know it is almost Halloween, everybody, and it's scary because you know what? It's been warm up here in Chicago, so I'm not even like in the full like mood for the holidays because it's like I'm thinking that it's spring or something, but it's not. It's fall. It's almost November 1st, so.
And it's still hot here anyway.
Yeah.
Like hot meaning like mid 80s. We're itching for some like mid 70s.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was the mid high 60s here today. So.
Dream of that one day.
So I am going to be outnumbered by women today because
it's Girl Power Day.
Girl Power Day. Another Girl Power Day. Because our guest is, as you can see in the corner there, I can't even say it. Girls Can Grill. Christie Vanover. She does everything. I was kind of watching some of the stuff. She's got rubs coming out. She's got a book. She was at the Jack doing judging stuff. She's got a competition going in Las Vegas. She does videos on how to do stuff. I was watching one on how to hopefully grow the show. And as you can tell, it's doing a great job because we got two people in here today. So.
Sorry, I'm getting on that next.
So anyway, but yes, and she also cooks barbecue. What more can you do?
Don't challenge a female. She'll figure it out.
She says. So with that, let's bring in Christie Vanover, Girls Can Grill. Christie, how are you today?
What's up? I'm great. Nice to be here.
Great. This is probably I was actually looking on your thing. You do a lot of shows. This is probably going to be one of the best ones you'll ever be on.
All right. I love it. Let's make that happen.
Make it happen. Michelle, you look nervous. You look tired.
I'm tired. I haven't stopped since August. I might get to sleep in December.
No, Christmas.
Christmas.
We stop the majority of our business and extracurriculars like December 19th, so we can rest for the last 2 weeks of the year. And then,
but isn't that when you have to get all your shopping done and all your family stuff?
Oh, well, I already got mine done. My husband's going to figure his out.
Wow, nice. Way to go.
No, it's just that's the time that we take to business plan our business, and then also what competitions we're going to be at, and because I'd like to know well in advance where we plan to be so we can plan accordingly, because apparently I'm buying more smokers again. Last week, I just bought one last week. Now I got to buy another one.
You can never have too many smokers.
Nope.
So, Christie, Girls Can Grill. That's what it says right on your thing. And we were just talking about it in the green room. There's not a lot of girls out there on the circuit too much anymore. I don't know if there ever really was, but I mean, there were a few. So what got you into the grilling aspect of that? What got you into it?
Yeah, it was probably World Food Championships, honestly. When it was held in Vegas in 2012 and 2013, I competed in the sandwich and burger categories. And I saw the barbecue area, the KCBS area, talked with Leanne within, and just got to see barbecue in action. And it was so cool because the burger category is like super intense. It was like 90 minutes, 2 hours. I don't remember it. It's like do everything. I baked my own bread. I made my own cheese. Like I was stupid the first year I did World Food Championships. It was ridiculous. But I saw the barbecue folks and they were just kicking back, drinking beers, smoking meat. And I was like, this is where I want to be. And I actually was gifted a big green egg at World Food Championships from Dr. Barbecue because because he did some demos, and I'm local in Vegas, so they were looking for people to give them to. And after that, I just started cooking on the grill regularly and just taking the recipes I cooked inside, cooked them outside, and fell in love with it. And then the Nevada Barbecue Association saw me on social media, invited me to a meeting, and introduced me more to the competition side. I took a judging class, and from there, it just like blossomed. I had a different website where I already developed recipes, so that part wasn't new, but the whole competition side of it was all new, and making everything on the grill, I just fell in love with, and here I am today.
I believe that was the first year of World Food in 2012.
2012 was the first year. So I did. Yeah, 2012 I sous chefed for somebody, and then 13 and 14 I competed on my own, and then they moved, and then I didn't follow. So
they're still moving it.
I know. I know.
Welcome to Indianapolis 2024.
Yeah. So yeah,
I'm gonna let you guys chat. I'm gonna try and get Instagram on really quick. I may be back, I may not. Let's see if I can do that. You guys chat.
Who's in South? So,
you intimidated Steve.
He did say the estrogen level was a little high, but that's cool.
Right.
Sport is addicting, and I know I've personally been in it. My start was Memphis in May, and that's where I got my little hook on it. And
nice.
The barbecue side. When I started learning that cooking it was much more fun than organizing it.
Yeah.
I started cooking more as well, so I totally get it. And I've heard a lot about you from other people. Like I said, Sunny Moody, friends of mine that follow you on your social media. I just had the opportunity to meet you and see your backstory and how things go for you. And so what cooking organization do you primarily cook in, and what's your favorite thing to cook?
Yeah, definitely KCBS. That's what we mostly have out here on the West Coast. I've done a lot of SCAs too. I haven't the past year, but 2 years, like the last year and year prior, I was actually cooking in them. And then also I competed at Worlds twice. And then I also organized multiple SCA competitions out here on the West Coast. I specifically really like the ancillary categories of SCA because you get to be really creative.
Yeah.
Sorry, my dog's walking around. If you can hear his little feet prints.
We're also a dishwasher too. It's fine.
Yeah, right.
But I really, really love KCBS. Like that's where my heart is. All categories. Brisket's my favorite. I kind of love that I do well in brisket as a female because I don't know, sometimes people just think of it as kind of like that's the guy's meat. That's the really hard one to do. And so I pulled off 5th place in the Jack. So I love brisket.
Everybody hates chicken.
I don't mind chicken. I actually find it therapeutic to scrape chicken skins. I know I'm crazy, but it's like when it's that time for me, I'm like, okay.
So you're a thigh girl.
I'm a what? I am a thigh girl. Yeah.
Whenever you're scraping skins, you're scraping thighs because drummies don't do that.
No, right. I've done legs a couple times, but just thighs usually hit better for me, so I just stick with that.
I think a lot of that too is also regional. I think things are more different wherever you go. And that's something that me and my husband have figured out when we're talking about cooking. We've been to Galax or we've been to Murfreesboro or Texas, any things we've been to that are KCBS. Locally, we've done more successfully KCBS, but not when we travel. So I think we've been focusing more on the barbecue network lately here, which is whole hog, pulled pork, and ribs. And we just now took on whole hog as our team. As our own. We've done other teams before in the past, and now we're finally venturing out and excited about what we've done in the last few weeks. And hopefully, I know we're done with barbecue for the rest of the year because we're focusing on World Food. Are you going to be there this year?
No, I'm not. No, I'm pretty much done for the year other than organizing a competition out here in Vegas in December.
What's going on with that one? What's the date?
So we haven't had a KCBS competition in Vegas since 2018. And we have the Nevada area is pretty small when it comes to competition barbecue. There's probably like 5 to 10 teams who are active. And I would say of those, there's like 3 who are really active, and I'm one of the 3. Beyond that, it's kind of hit or miss. So it's hard to get somebody to organize one. And for years, those of us who competed didn't want to organize it because we wanted to compete in it. Plus, it's an awesome chance for a draw at the Jack because there's only one other competition in Nevada. So finally, I knew it wasn't going to happen unless I made it happen. So I just decided, okay, I'll take a seat back and not actually cook it, and I'll pull it together. And so it's December 6th and 7th. It's called the Barbecue Jackpot. It's sold out in just a few hours, and we have over 80 teams now.
Heck yeah!
Wow.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's amazing how many people want to come out here. I think part of it is because it's December, so there's no other comps anywhere else. also it's Vegas. So
Right.
I think people are always excited for Vegas.
So if anybody were to want to pop over from this side to go over there to do that for y'all or with y'all, is there opportunities that maybe there's enough people that can say, hey, you can loan a grill out or anything like that? Because I'm just like, hey, because next year I'm judging myself to not go. Because one of my favorite people in the world is Tara Miller, and she's now able to rep KCBS contest, and now hopefully she's will help you guys out. But I know she's on that side.
I haven't heard from her actually related to this one. I know Terrell really well with SEA, but
just got her approval to the contest. So keep
that's
her on the radar
awesome.
for you for next year. Yeah, I know.
Okay, good.
I spend a lot of time talking with her just because of my relationship with World Food and what I do with it with the Sam's Club deals. But so keep her on the radar for repping because she's very organized, and if you need to get, she can probably help you guys get a lot more contests out that way because she's right there in Utah. It's not that far. Yeah. So that's an awesome opportunity. I grew up in Southern California, so I miss the West Coast. I have not been home or on that side in years, and I would love to go cook a comp there. And I know my husband loves the mountains, so he's all about that stuff too.
Yeah. Well, we're getting more and more. So like it's kind of gone, ebbs and flows. So after COVID, everything kind of stopped. But they're starting to come back. So there's going to be in Arizona, there's one in January. There's another one in February and March, Lake Havasu and Yuma, I think they are. And then, California.
Where I grew up was 1 hour from Yuma in California.
Oh, yeah. Okay, nice. Yeah. And then there used to be one in Indio. That one got canceled. But yeah, there's several throughout California. It's just kind of a lull right now. There's not another competition until December now. So, but I think it's also because there was the Jack and there's the Royal, and you don't want to overbook things because a lot of the teams from California are actually going to the Royal. Or
it's a lot of money out of pocket to travel and compete and recover that funds.
100%. Utah needs more comps too. I think they've had one this year, if I'm not mistaken. They used to have a couple, but it's kind of gone hit or miss. But organizing is hard. I mean, as you know, like there's no money in it for the organizer. Like it's just out of love. It's just making it happen. And it's just super expensive out here in Vegas between the fees for the location and then, all the rentals with the toilets and all that stuff. And then the permits, and it's just, everything adds up, and hotels are expensive for reps. And we'll go ahead.
I said, I'll get it.
Yeah, so it's hard. I mean, unfortunately, we're able to offer a $12,000 prize purse for this comp. I want it to be higher, but just the judges' tent alone is $6,000. Like, it's just, I'm hoping to get it indoors, and that can improve things. But yeah, it's just tough.
Are you working with the local chamber of commerces in the area?
I'm not. I know I could be, but it's Vegas. Like,
well, I get it. The only reason I'm saying that is I just put on one this past weekend. It was 62 barbecue teams, and it was the whole hog, pulled pork, and rib thing. And their teams can pick all three categories that they want to. And I'll be honest, the relationship with the Chamber of Commerce to help, maybe they get some sort of kickback or some sort of profit off of it for them to at least put the sponsors in, whether it be in kind for your tents. I mean, that's one thing that we've been working with, and it helped us out in the contest. Getting porta johns, for example, United Rentals donated our porta johns, and the money we were charging for the porta johns to the teams, that was straight profit for the event. And little things like that made a huge difference in our profitability, our contest, which the chamber does directly benefit from. And honestly, I think we haven't settling the dust of the numbers yet and finishing the deposits. And we did have the SCA with it, but we ended up having 62 barbecue teams. So it was 17 hog, 49 pork, 60 rib teams. Then we had 40 SCA teams with a total ancillary count of 350 entries.
Wow.
Over 8 categories. It was like the mecca of ancillary. Yeah. You would have loved that because you like the ancillary.
Right.
And Michelle Dang was our rep, which she was a lifesaver on that stuff. We ended up netting almost $40,000 in profit.
Oh my gosh.
Sponsorships and the in-kind, just working the in-kind.
Wow. Yeah.
And working with your Chamber of Commerce and working with the city benefits on all of that with the economic impact of all those people in there. Your hotels benefit, your grocery stores benefit, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's something to really say, hey, how can we partner together and work together to make this to where it's beneficial for everybody? And then it's a lot less work for you because, like for me, I don't have to chase the sponsorship dollars. The chamber puts it into their budget. So when the business pays for their membership dues every year, they tack on an extra $150, $200 or whatever it is, or $500 if they want more, and that determines their presenting levels. And you don't have to work that; they just cut you a check and it's done.
Nice.
Wow.
I will definitely look into that for 2025.
Just
Yeah.
message me and I'll tell you how it works more in
Okay.
detail that way, because it's not
Sounds
less much work on you. Say, hey, look, they're having
Sure.
this contest. It benefits the whole city. It'll benefit your business.
Yeah.
How can
Yeah.
we make that easier on you to write that check? And they just
Sure.
build their dues and they just cut you a check at the end of it.
Yeah. I just know, just my own, and I'm so excited to ask them now that you've mentioned all this. I just know from working with the LVCBA before, like Vegas is so huge. There's so many events that happen. Like National Finals Rodeo is the same weekend. There's just F1's about to happen. There's so many big things that happen here.
What about your municipalities that are around them that have their own little micro chambers? The smaller
They do. This one's actually in Las Vegas, but you're right. Like if we had it in Henderson or something, that's not a bad idea.
They also benefit too, because if you want to stay a little bit further out of town to save their money on Airbnbs and stuff and the groceries.
Yeah.
They all have a lot of those times, because I go to the chamber events all the time, because I have a catering company, so I'm bouncing around and networking all the time. But I see the same people at all these meetings.
Yeah.
We're all going to the same places. But it's something, if it even helps you get an extra 10 grand in sponsor money.
For sure.
Right? Like, definitely also worry about working on for your dumpster. Say, hey, in kind, can you donate a dumpster for the trash and the ash?
Yeah. Right.
And then you don't have to pay for it out of your pocket.
Yeah. Because I would so much rather have a big prize purse. Like, 12,000 is okay, but it's Vegas. Like it should be like 25, 30,000. Like that's where I want to be.
But if that helps you not spend that money here and go there. But that's what helped us is electrical. Belt Rentals helped us out with electrical. They cut us a deal on it.
Nice.
And if we offered upgrades on power from 30 amp to 50 amp, they kept that extra money, but they gave us the basic power for a certain price.
Wow.
And we can talk off record on those numbers.
I think the answer to
companies. So these are national companies. They have the money, and United Rentals too. They donated the Porta Johns, and they're cleaner than a lot of the other ones.
I think the answer is to the whole thing is just to call Michelle and just let her fight for all the cash and
right. I just asked for the free stuff. I just gotta start asking for free stuff. Hey, what can I promote you on social, the website?
Right.
No, that's all they want is like the big huge thank you. And honestly, some of them too, if they want to have a cooking team, it'll get you a free spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
You give me $10,000 worth of stuff. Yeah, you can sit there.
For sure. Right.
So I hope that helps.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So that's what's coming up big for me December. And then hopefully I'll start competing again in 2025, early 2025. So yeah. Just had kind of a pause myself.
Trust me, I'm good at I literally I'm 4 days out from my event and we're still recovering.
Yeah.
We just finished all the burn spot repairs from the chimney starters in the grass because the lacrosse didn't play on the field. So we're good.
Did you run that one, Michelle? Was that?
Yeah.
Did you, I didn't know you ran.
I was it. Me and Mike Davis ran my power. Him ran my logistics when he got done working on Thursday night. But yeah, no, that was my event. I had NBN run the judging, I had SCA run their judging, and I was just running around making sure everybody was happy, making sure everybody showed up on time and didn't cause any incidents. 0 police calls, 0 EMS calls, 0 fire calls.
We were talking about contests. I don't know if you saw at the bottom. I put up if I can get it to come back up. Diane Mia was saying that Coos Bay, Oregon in May, DuPont, Washington, Tacoma in August. So
I used to live up that way when I was a kid. Whidbey Island, Washington.
Yeah, and she said they're both KCBS, and then AK Barbecue Man says, sorry he's late. What's up, girls?
He was one of the reps at my event this past weekend. So
excellent.
Him and Michelle Mann were here. I love them to death. Good to see them again soon. But next up, tell us about your cookbook.
Yeah, so I'm super excited about this. So this is my new cookbook. For years, I've been wanting to publish a cookbook, and I've talked to different publishers, and I just honestly kept getting the same answer that when I originally started talking to them, like back in 2017, 2018, the response was that they didn't think that a female author was going to be able to sell cookbooks about grilling. And I was like, ouch, okay, I'm going to find another publisher. I'm not fans with that. And then a couple of years later, I was pitching a brisket cookbook, just like all about brisket, since I had just gotten 5th place at the Jack, and same kind of feedback was like, well, Stephen Reichman has his and Aaron Franklin has his. We don't think yours is going to sell. And I was like, okay, different perspective, but sure, whatever. So I just decided, screw it, I was going to self-publish. Fortunately, I used to publish magazines when I worked for the Army, so I had that skill set. So I just decided to come up with my own new concept, new manuscript, and shot it all, designed it all, developed all the recipes, and got it published. And Amazon makes it pretty simple. So long as you can come up with a file, you just upload the file to Amazon, and then from there it's print on demand. So that part's pretty cool. And so, yeah, it got published September 29th, and it was immediately an Amazon bestseller in the barbecue space. So
Wow.
super excited about that. And it's all about holiday grilling. So now's the perfect time to get it because it's got recipes for Thanksgiving, Christmas, all that. I'm actually,
I mean, not to bash your book, but I'm actually surprised. I mean, we sell some books at Wanamaker's, and ever since online stuff started, I mean, they've kind of not sold that well just because everybody downloads everything. But no, that's great. That
thanks.
I didn't know the book still did so well. So that's awesome. Kudos to you then, especially for somebody who said it wasn't going to, to the person that said it wasn't going to sell.
Right.
Well, there you go. It's an Amazon bestseller. So
when people tell me no, it tends to push me harder. So I like to prove people wrong. And then I also actually, before publishing that book, I published these 2 books on Amazon, and they're both just journals. So they're just log books so that you can log your competition score. So like if you do SCA, you can log your scores and do notes. And if you do like KCBS, you can log your scores and do notes. And I have a digital version too, but I know some people just like to handwrite and like keep it in their trailer. And so when I was testing out the whole publish on Amazon, I chose to test it out with these, and they've been selling pretty well too. So yeah, it's fun. It's amazing how you can just create things and throw it on Amazon. It's been kind of fun.
As a cook, you got the log books. As a cook, do you log all your cooks? I know some people get really. I know there was a guy that used to work at the store who got really nutty, like what the temperature was, was it humid, which way the wind was blowing, how many charcoals you got. Do both of you guys do all that? I mean, is that something you recommend to everybody, that you keep track so you can repeat it?
I'm very OCD. I'm not as OCD as like how many lumps of charcoal are in my basket and all that, but I'm definitely OCD about like what rubs did I use?
I mean,
no.
Yeah. What was the temperature? What did I pull it at? Where was I at high altitude? I log all the scores so I can know, like, did they just not like the taste? What did I do about taste that was different that time? I do keep it all digitally, and then I go back and if I'm going to tweak, I'll tweak like, based on what succeeded in some places and others, especially since I travel sometimes when I cook. And so, I think it's really important. And I think that once teams start to do that, that's when they start to see their scores improve.
Yeah, we do that too. I'll be honest, when we first got started in SDA, we location, date, time, when things started, humidity levels, temperature, anything we changed, anything like that. And then we would put our scores in the book too, because we didn't want to print them off and put them their way. We just write them in the sheet and go to the next one and see what we improve upon. And sometimes it does make a difference.
Yeah.
Can we shut this Paul Peters guy down, because I'm tired of his comments?
I don't know how to.
Well, don't put them on the screen. They're being rude.
Well, I know that. Something like this has to happen on the day when it's technologically challenged people are in the room. I don't know how to.
Oh, I can block him from here.
Because they're not appropriate.
You should be able to.
I don't know how to do that, but she's smart enough.
I just did it.
No, if you did it, I see it.
I'm sorry.
Thanks,
I mean, I did it on my end. I don't know if it.
No, I see it.
Too,
see it. I see it on here as well. That mine says Paul Peters has been blocked. That's very well. I
thought you knew him and that he was like joking. I was like, okay.
Nope, don't know who it is.
No, I don't. I didn't know. I don't know him either. But I'm sorry about that. This is the first time we've ever had that occasion. So thank you, Christy, for hopefully solving that issue.
Sure.
But anyway, so back to back to where you're at.
It's just very distracting. So
yeah.
No. Anyway, so then Michelle, back to you, because I hear people like with the SCA and stuff like that. There's only use like 30 coals, or you don't keep do you keep track of your?
No. I don't, but I know people that do.
Okay.
They're very particular. They count them. They can't be chipped. They can't be perfectly intact.
They can be perfect squares.
That do that, and they do well. Honestly, they perform well. I don't know if that's what makes them perform well or not, but I just think knowing your grill, being consistent with your product, and the weight of your hand with your grill, your seasonings and stuff like that, and being on a schedule and a timeline, really consistency is everything. Some of it's luck of the draw, some of it's not.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes I'm having to cook different meat depending on what's available. So like sometimes it'll be Tyson, sometimes it'll be Sanderson Farms, and I'll make note of that. Like or I'll try Prairie Fresh. I usually use Hormel for pork, but I'll make note and see what performs better differently. And if I got bad scores, I'll go back and be like, what happened? I was like, oh yeah, I used Tyson this time. And it might not have been Tyson. I'm not trying to dog them, but whatever shift, whatever shift happened is, I just can go back and look. So yeah, so that's why I created these. And I know not everybody's digital like I am. So I think that some people who just like to write stuff down, I think that they've been.
Is that available on Amazon as well?
It is. Yep. $9.99.
They're still out there. Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I just think I hadn't heard that in a while, but then when you brought up look who's watching is the former co-host of Thursday Night Barbecue Chat, Ryan Hoagland, who's now
he obviously made it back from the wake.
Yeah, he's saying sorry, we're not missing you, Ryan, at all. It's been quite an entertaining show up until we had to try and block somebody, and Christie saved the day.
Apparently, I got a hater. I didn't know how that happened.
I don't know where that came from all of a sudden. And then you brought it up and I'm looking at the comments, and yes, they were not. Try to be appropriate, everybody. I mean, it's barbecue, it's fun, but let's not be goofy, for crying out loud.
This is supposed to be about Christy and not about what Michelle looks like on this camera.
I get trolls all the time. I had a YouTube comment the other day that my voice sounds like I'm 30 and my hands look like I'm 80. I'm like, awesome. Okay, well, I'm a white girl who got sunburned all the time, and I do have grandma hands, but I know how to freaking barbecue, so get over it.
Well, not only that, you're burning your hands every time you're cooking, you're burning your hands. I mean, a good barbecue person can touch hot stuff without even knowing it's hot because their fingers are so calloused and everything from grabbing hot stuff.
Knocking a female's appearance on cooking barbecue when we've seen what most of them look like when they're in the field.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, I'm not knocking that. I'm married to one, but these people, leave us alone.
No, it's all good. You've made it when people have nothing else to pick on you about.
Oh, look at now Griddles and Vittles are picking on Ryan. See, Ryan, you're distracting from us. So what's up? Where's Ryan? Is he still crying because there's no cookbook for the Great Griddle Battle or Griddle Off? Yeah, well, we're not going to talk about that event because Ryan's not here today. So it's going to be one show without the mention of the event that shall remain nameless. Yeah.
Because we
haven't read it in the comments.
We haven't got to the next thing yet.
What was that?
Our rubs.
Yeah.
Well, let's not do the rubs first. I got it. Since we're on like the whole social media.
Yes. Yeah.
You do a huge. I mean, you do a podcast, which is probably got to be hugely more successful than this one. But you do a podcast. But like I was saying at the beginning of the show, but you also do like somewhat like instructional videos as well. So I mean, you're out there giving it back, and everything else is as far as still competing and giving back. So explain where all that stuff's at and how that all got started.
Yeah, I think that the whole vision of Girls Can Grill was that when I first wanted to learn to grill, it was a little bit intimidating. And I was apprehensive about where to go for information. I mean, there was cookbooks, Stephen Reichland's cookbooks. At that time, Bobby Flay had a show that was all about grilling. I mean, there were definitely resources, but it wasn't as prevalent as now. I mean, now you're going to see Malcolm and you're going to see Heath and all those guys out there, but there just wasn't as much of that. So at the time, I wanted to create, as I learned to grill myself, I wanted to kind of share my experiences of what worked, what didn't work, and just become approachable, especially to females who might be intimidated by the sport of barbecue and just grilling in general. So I did start my website with an educational component in mind, and it's just kind of grown from there into not just backyard barbecue, but as I became a competitive cook, I wanted to share what I learned, and like whether it's, sharing my timelines or sharing my, techniques as like how to do chicken and things like that. Just because I think barbecue is better if we can share. Like if we can all experience it together, then we're going to grow the sport. If we all just hold all the information close, the sport's going to die. So I'm just all about educating and getting people excited about barbecue.
You're anti-shiggin.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I share everything. So so that's
the point we make all the time too. You can tell people what you do, but they're never going to do it the exact way you do it. So It doesn't matter what you tell them. Heath Riles will tell you the same thing.
Yeah,
I'll tell you 100%. Everything I do verbatim, and you're not going to do it exactly the same way or get the same result. because your passion's different, your attention to detail is different, your timeline. You might just get distracted. You might have other things going on in life, or you just think you can do it a little bit better. So
and that's why so many people offer classes, like tell-all classes, because they know they're confident they can tell you everything, and you can show up to a comp the next day and try to do the same thing and still maybe not pull it off. Although I have beat a couple people I've taken classes from, which is fun. I took like notes with my laptop, and because I'm OCD like that.
And then you're the perfect example. Then from taking the classes and then beat the beating the instructor. But that's kind of what whoever's in barbecue now. I mean, that's what you have to do, is you have to be able to stimulate the backyard guys to get them to want to take the next step and keep, as you said, keep the sport growing and keep it moving. I mean, if nobody shared, I mean, this would be the last group that you would see, because nobody, they would have to try and learn everything themselves. And I don't know if anybody can do that anymore, because they're so used to everything being out there. Yeah.
And honestly, as an instructor myself, I don't mind when people I've instructed beat me. I get excited about it, because I'm like, oh yay, you learned my technique, you made it your own, you made it better, and you got a GC, or you got a first place this or whatever. And I know they get excited. They're like, oh my God, I beat her, and she's the one who taught me that. And I'm like, yeah, but that's cool, because you did it. You showed that you could do it. And so I get excited about that.
2 females that me and my husband have been mentoring for the last year finally got their golden tickets to SCA Worlds this past weekend.
Nice.
They were bawling, and we were just so genuinely happy. One got a snake and a pass down, and one actually got a first place in wings. I was so happy for her.
Awesome.
But that's always this, and it's not the first ones we had that, but just this 2 in one weekend. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's very cool. And then I love seeing the future of barbecue too, like Ray, Little Gringa, like, I've been supporting her and a few other young women in barbecue, Sunny Moody's kids. And, it's just fun to see young girls really try the sport and then just show up and like get those calls. And it's exciting.
That's what
it's good.
Every time I see a new baby girl born in the barbecue world, I go, who rules the world? Girls. Unless we're here.
I can't say anything. I'm outnumbered today. I can't. I'm not even going to try and defend it. I'm not even going to try and defend it.
Here, I'll give you a good case-by-case basis right here. I was running my event this past weekend. My son was competing in the kids' pork chop category. Who normally keeps him on his timeline? Mommy couldn't, because mommy was running the event. Guess who got DAL?
Oh, no.
Because he was more prioritizing playing football, and daddy forgot to remind him to go back and cook his pork chop. So he turned in a very tasty raw pork chop.
Ooh.
Oh.
He went from second place to last.
Oh.
He did that humbling, I think, going into World Food.
So I did get Instagram going, and Greg Schneider, everybody knows good old Greg. He's a great guy. He said, I really want that the different organizations offer mentoring programs for newbie teams. And that, I know he's mentioned that a couple times. And I think that'd be a great thing for all of them to offer little mentoring programs to help advance teams to get excited about competitions and stuff like that.
I know B&B Charcoal is requiring that for the 25 teams this year. You have to mentor at least one child to be accepted to team for next year. It's in their application.
Cool.
But I do agree with that idea. I do know what I can say about Memphis in May. I don't know if you knew that me and my husband run the judging for Memphis in May. That they're going to have the Future Q program back there, and they are wanting to expand on that. And they're in conversations about possibly having a kids contest for the ages of 9 through 17 at Memphis in May in 2025. We're waiting on some final details to be finalized before they announce that, but it is something they're working on. If they don't get it finalized this year, they will definitely go forward. But they're wanting to expand barbecue and promote barbecue 100% in all its capacities. So I'm excited about the kids program there more than, because I'll be honest, last year was the first year they had the Future of Q kids out there giving cooking. They did cooking samples and handing out, and they had some of the people that were on the board members for Memphis in May and VIP, but $500 to be there and get the experience. And they said some of the best food they got was from the kids.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I was at Smoke Slam this year, cooking actually with B&B and Cowboy Charcoal, and they had the kids competition over there too. And it's just so cool to see them. I think Melissa Cookson ran that up, and
She did. She just had her event this past weekend too. That's where Little Green Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we definitely have to get the kids more involved. Otherwise, we're gonna have a big generational gap. I mean, there's the older ones are starting to go away. Some of the Gen Z or whatever are getting tired, burn out or whatever. Then there's a gap going in between that and the millennials. So there is some backfilling in the attrition. Same thing we're seeing with a lot of other things as far as judging goes as well. I mean, anytime you don't have people wanting to stay interested or they feel like they're burnt out or tired, they have better things to do, like going to the beach. They're going to want to go do that. But
yeah, right.
I've actually seen teams actually say, I don't want to cook no more because I'd rather just go to the beach with my family and spend the same amount of money.
And then Chris said he's waiting for Kids Q in Northern California to get his daughter into it. And then Diane, judging standing for kids contests are challenging. Is there a difference between the two, or
depends on the sanctioning body?
And I will say I looked at having a kids queue with my December event. In the end I pulled it out because we just didn't have the space for it because we sold out so fast with our teams. But it's hard with the different age groups. With KCBS, there's the rules of if the younger kids can cook at the cook site, but then at older kids, you should have the grills for all of them and have to cook there without any parental supervision. So yeah, the standards for the organizers to kind of work out and then have the judging, it just definitely adds a complexity to organizing a contest.
So her clarification was that the judging has been too pro and not lenient for their age group. And that to me is the sanctioning body's job to communicate that during the judges briefing right before they start judging. So remember, these are kids. They are learning. It doesn't have to be those perfect marks. They don't have to have the perfect things. Obviously you want doneness, right? Because you don't want to get sick. There's things like that, but no, I agree 100% with that, Diane, on that. But I do, until we can get a sanctioning body that is just kids and it's a standardized format there, I don't think you're going to see that. I mean, it's going to be different by KCBS. I know Steve Jimenez was trying to do Kids Q Nation for a while, and I know that just didn't take off as much. And that was a good one too. SCA has a kids division. I have not been privy to the conversations they have with their judges when the kids entries come in, because I am a competitor. My kid competes, so obviously not allowed to be in there from an organizer point of view. And when my son does compete and I run an event, I'm not allowed to be in there for that reason. I know MBN, if they were to run one as an ancillary from, I know that they try to, which is the Memphis Barbecue Network, they do try to tell them, hey, these are kids, keep in mind, don't be so harsh. And a lot of the ones that do realize it's kids, they are that way, but then you always have those judges that are always ugly. I mean, we see that in KCBS everywhere we go. We know who they are. I am not familiar with the ones in the sanctioning bodies in Texas. I probably need to travel a little bit more and go see the ICBA and CBA and all the other ones and GBA, just so I can be more.
Well, and the Royal has good kids Q competitions coming up this
weekend. My son won second place there last year. We just can't go this year because it's Halloween weekend. So he was second place to Wayland.
Yeah, very cool.
Pittsburgher, and that was his highlight. I mean, he's like, and I've been fighting for school, let him out of school to go to another one, but no, the Royal is honestly, out of all of them, the biggest kids competition that's most well ran and efficient, and they make them all cook in that area.
Yeah. So, and it's fun. It's fun for the parents and the kids. Yeah.
Chris said he wanted to sign up for the jackpot. Just wasn't in the cards this year. Looking to be in the mix next year. So I'll see. You already got teams waiting for next year.
Well, definitely sign up to get on the email list, because as soon as it goes out, it sells. And join the Barbecue Jackpot Facebook group, because that's where we share information too.
Excellent. Yeah. So that's it. So yeah. So I guess you. I don't know. So you had all this stuff first. I know you did your books. You did this. What made you want to jump into probably the most crowded industry on the face of the earth? Because I can honestly tell you, from somebody who gets bothered every single day, get into the spicing world. What made you make the jump?
So I actually have had rubs since March of 2020. They launched right when COVID hit. And I had them through Spiceology. So Spiceology had reached out to me and asked me to be a collaborator. I gave them my recipes and they bottled it up and sold it for me. And then in, I want to say late 2023, it probably was, maybe mid 2023, they decided that they had way too many SKUs and they wanted to cut down and kind of focus on some main ones, because they were working to get themselves into Costco and some different places. And so they cut some of their collabs, and they dropped my line as well, which actually turned out to be okay, because there were things about my rubs that I wanted to adjust, but we just couldn't with the way things were set up there. Like my pork rub was a little bit too chunky for competition barbecue. I used it just fine, but other people felt that it was too chunky. So now I've got my own co-packer, same recipes, worked on the formulations, got them mastered. And now I actually have the liberty to brand them myself also, so they're not just branded with Spiceology. So in the end, I'm really happy with how the whole process has been. So it's really not new, other than they've been off the shelves for 6 to 12 months, depending on which rub line sold out first. So yeah, I'm really, really pumped to get them back. I had them at the Jack 2 weeks ago. My first 2 cases of each I sold there at the hardware store during the Jack, and we sold out. So yeah, people like them. I compete with them. They're good for backyard. And they're just good for basic barbecue, but I compete with them all the time. Like my brisket rub, that's the one that I used.
I got
it. There you go. There you go. That's easier. My pork rub, I get first with my pork rub all the time. It's kind of a sweet blend, but it's got coconut sugar in it. So it has a nice like caramelization flavor. So yeah, I'm so anxious to get them back because they've been off the market too long. So I'm stoked.
Alaska Barbecue Man asked if you will have some at the Royal.
I will not be at the Royal this year, actually. So
no.
Sorry. Sorry. Nope.
I won't
I'll have
be
them
there
at the barbecue jackpot.
I can't be there either.
Well, I do applaud you, but I applaud you on a couple things. One, the labels are nice and easy to read, which you went very simple. Because obviously from seeing the end result, from people looking at the wall of rubs and trying to, just by naming them chicken, pork, or brisket, that simplifies it for those. I don't even want to say, not like I say backyard, but I'm speaking more
just a consumer,
residential backyard.
Consumers, just regular consumers. Because we use that at the Sam's all the time when we're doing our demonstrations. They're like, they need it. I hate to say the word dumbed down for them, but they
need it simple.
They do.
Yeah. And then second, they're plain. I mean, there's enough there to know who did it. You got your logo, you got that, you got what it does, and then obviously all the stuff on the back. I see so many that spend so much their rubs are expensive, and a lot of it some of them have holograms on them. Some of them it's just like you're spending way too much on the packaging. You're making your rubs more expensive, and it's for somebody that's going to throw it away. They're going to empty the bottle and throw it away. And I've seen a lot of other people go to almost a more simple design from where they started to now they're back to a little bit more simple design. So they look amazing. So
thank you.
Diane wants to know if you also use the coconut sugar in your wrap.
No, I usually use, I have in the past, but I usually use brown sugar in my pork wrap. Or I use granulated sugar also, which is like the coarse brown sugar. And I will tell you one secret with my rubs. So what I did, I have so many rubs on my shelf because I buy rubs or I get sent rubs. And so I look and I'm like, which one stands out to me? And there are a lot that have like cartoon characters, or their logo is bigger than the name of what the rub actually is, and you don't really know. And then the name of the rub is something that is catchy, but it doesn't tell you what it's for. So when I first made my labels and designed them, I showed them to my husband. He's like, those are plain. And I wrapped them onto bottles and I stuck them on the shelf. I said, now look at the shelf and which one stands out. And he's like, you're right. That right there tells me there's a pork rub. Everything else I've got to like pick up and read and try to figure out. So thank you for observing that, because that was definitely the direction I was trying to go.
I don't know if you watched the Today Show, but they just brought up chaos packaging the other day.
I don't know what that is.
The Today Show on Channel 5.
I mean, I know what the Today Show is, but I don't know what chaos packaging is.
Here, but NBC, they just brought up a segment on chaos packaging, which is the cartoon characters and like just water in a can, things like that to make people stand out. And so you doing a reverse chaos packaging is what's helping.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope so. We'll see. I'm fingers crossed. It's like I said, it's the chicken and the brisket made it to the fulfillment centers. The pork is on its way, and then as soon as that is done, we will be shipping them. They'll be available at Girls Can Grill. They'll be available wholesale. I'll sell them, to retailers, and then I'll have them on Amazon. And then I'll actually be at the Fancy Food Show in January, which is a Specialty Food Association convention where I'll get to pitch it to different retailers and buyers. So. Fingers crossed.
It is one of them. I applaud you for getting into it, but it is, as you probably know, it is one of the crowdedest market between sauces and rubs. Everybody's got it.
Yep.
Well, we don't have
it's, I don't even know. It is so tough. And the hard part for stores like myself, because I really like to support small local, but it's almost gotten, now there's so many that I can't, you have to have people. And I think we talked about this a while back, Michelle. I think you were actually on the show with Joey Machado, and you need products that promote themselves, because like the wall at Wanamaker's, there's 500 rubs on the wall.
And I can't. It's overwhelming to a consumer coming in, and that's your target market. You're not targeting barbecue people.
Right.
They already know what they want to use. They already know where they're going. Your target market is the Joe Blow that wants to cook a pork butt, or the Jane Doe that wants to learn how to cook ribs or whatever. And the more you have on your wall, I'll be honest, it is very overwhelming for them. And there's many times I've gone into a meat market, I'm standing there waiting on my tri-tip so I can go practice for a comp. And people come in at the wall, and I'm having to like educate them on the rubs because the store can't do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's just it. I mean, there's so many, and getting to the local, I try to keep it as local as possible. And I know there's a bunch of people that send stuff to the store and they want to, but I'm small and I'm local. I understand that you're small and you're local, but you're small and you're local to your community. You're not small and local to the Chicago area. And with 500 rubs on the wall, I can't just sell yours. So the majority of the ones that are local at the store, like this weekend, I got Old Arthur's is coming in on Saturday. They're going to be that he'll sample his, so he's helping self promote his own stuff. Where I don't know, it's a busy, crowded market. So really,
I think I do have the advantage though of my website and of social media and I mean, I reach millions of people a month through both of those platforms. And then plus I don't think the competition circuit will be my primary customer by any means, but the rubs mentioned all throughout my cookbook, I definitely target more people who are learning how to barbecue. You don't have to make your own rub, although it's fun. I encourage that too. But it's, if you want a successful pork butt, just grab this. And
everybody wants to cook and easy. Trust me, as I'm doing the cooking demonstrations at Sam's, which is promoting cooking again, like doing the recipe, not where is it in the freezer section? Like, oh, I have to put it together. So it's trying to get people cooking again. That's the whole point of your cooking and the things like that. Question for y'all.
What's that?
I'm sorry, I'm looking at this thing. No, Ryan, but we get Michelle and Christie. Talk about an overall win. P.S. Perfect. Thank you, Kit. But so for example, here where I am locally, and we had a 9-year-old compete at the contest we were just at this weekend. He created his own rub, and it went live about 9 months ago. He's out there promoting it. He's got it in like 3 stores, maybe 4, regionally. He's out there at the farmer's market. So any advice that maybe, and I'll tag the mom and dad in the comments later so they can watch this later. Any advice you have to have him out there? He's Juggler's Rub. His name is Elliot Williams, and he has been cooking barbecue or SCA, like pork chop steaks and stuff like that, for about a year now. Developed his own rub. His mom's currently in the middle of battling brain cancer. Something he's doing to entertain himself, and they've actually given me permission to say those words. But any advice you have to help get him out there? So, because this is a distraction for what's going on with him, and also it's something he loves and he's very passionate about.
Well, I think it already sounds like he's hustling, which is the amazing part. Like getting out there and not being too shy to tell people about your product. I think that's a bonus right there, that he has the confidence to get out there and do that. I think social media is big, and with his generation, I think that he can definitely capitalize on that if his parents are okay with him using social media. I don't know how old he is. Okay. Oh, that is what you said. That's right. And then just working on a pitch, having that, which he probably already does if he's already out there, selling it, but having that 15 to 30 second elevator pitch, so that if somebody does give him the time, that at least it's something that attracts them enough and sells it enough with the pitch that they want to hear more. So, yeah.
And then if you want advice from a retailer standpoint.
That's even more important.
Well, I mean, no, because you're right. I mean, the social media part of it, I mean, the online, like Shopify's and all Amazon's and all that, that's where a lot of people are going now to get stuff. But from a retailer, and if he's going to go into the small retailers such as myself, I'm looking for somebody that's going to take care of their own product. Obviously, I'm going to put it on the shelf. I'm going to stock it. I'm going to do all that kind of stuff. But what he's doing, just as Christie was saying, what he's doing by offering to go there and do tastings and promote it himself, I'm looking for that because, as I said, it doesn't have shelf presence. No one's going to walk in and they're going to look at that rub and say, "Oh, I'm going to get that." They're going to need somebody to convince them to get it. And I can tell you from watching consumers really get geeked up over seeing somebody who physically created something, because most people don't have that. I'd love to create my own stuff. I just don't have the, to get over the edge. You know what I'm saying? This is somebody who actually has the courage to, and they applaud that. They love to see that. So the more he can do that, even if he went there and said, "Hey, I'll give you, some of my best sell. I'll give you 2 or 3 bottles, put it on your shelf, and then I'll come and demo the following Saturday," or something like that, so that there's an immediate return of money. And I think he'll do really well if he just keeps, and he's determined with it.
Sounds like summer vacation's gonna be busy for him.
Yeah, but I mean, it could end up being, end up being something super successful for him. I mean, it's you just never know.
Look at Riley with Steak Princess. I mean, she's crushing it with her rubs, and just hustling out there.
Yep, I had to cancel. I wanted to go to the Italian festival and cook the Italian festival here in Memphis that weekend, but she's throwing a big graduation SCA party, so we had
you had to go to that.
I mean, who throws an SCA contest for a graduation party?
The Steak Princess. Who else? Right. Well, Greg had a comment over on Instagram. He was going back to the hold on, I gotta put my glasses on. The damn shit's so small. He said this oops, no, I just lost it. I think it's a CBA or GBA. CBA has kids contests, and I believe it's at least 5 minimum kids. So that was going back to our conversations. And then he also said the shed has kids cooks also.
That's a lot of them too, and the prize money on that one's stupid.
Oh, somebody's behind you.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you. He needs dinner.
They turned the light. Show's over. That's it.
I'm getting home, but you can't stay here.
I texted him. I'm like, "Come get the dog. It's dinner time."
I've been watching the show.
I'm still on a cheeseburger pool float.
I got it on Amazon.
I'm still my kid loves Christmas decorations, so we've been slowly stocking up on the ones at the store that he wants. So I'm like, "Dude, your Christmas budget's about gone. You're about to stop your Christmas present money."
So what was your most recent that you were just at the Jack? How was the Jack?
I love the Jack. I've been going to the Jack since 2017. That's when I started judging it. And then eventually qualified to cook, and I cooked it the past 2 years. And this year I didn't get a GC, so I didn't get a bung. So I was excited to go back to judge it because I wanted to be in the judges tent and see how things have changed from the teams and what they're turning in. And I did a lot leading up to the Jack with kind of some educational podcasts, teaching people what the different ancillaries are like, what the judge's perspective is from inside the tent. It's similar to the Royal in that there are some barbecue Hall of Famers and master CBJs mixed with some celebrities or, kind of new time judges. And so not to be too upset if your scores range from, I know a guy who got a 999 and a 676. Like it just happens at these big competitions. So I did podcasts, like I said, leading up to that on my Barbecue Tips podcast, educating people about that. And it was cool because when I got to the Jack, I heard from a lot of new teams who said that they learned a lot of things that helped them out, especially the international teams. And then I also got to cook on Barbecue Hill. For those who don't know, that's like the party before on Friday night for all the teams and judges, where there's just a huge dinner. And so I cooked part of that up there on Barbecue Hill with certified Angus beef. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I love Lynchburg. I love the Jack. It's definitely, my heart is there. Like I'll be there every year, no matter what, whether I'm cooking, judging or what. But yeah, and it's just always beautiful to be in Tennessee in the fall.
Yes.
It was hot this year though.
It's like 3 hours from my house. That's a bucket list for me. I've not been there, but I want to pick your brain on one thing, and I think you might even agree this is something that needs to be possibly done. Is what about having a training class for teams on how to read their results?
Yeah, I actually did a barbecue tips podcast on that. I think a training class is smart though. But I did that exact same thing on the barbecue tips podcast where I took my score sheet of a recent competition and I went through exactly what each column for KCBS. I think it could be beneficial for every sanctioning body.
Yes.
Yeah. But for KCBS, I just went through like, here's what it means with Judge 1 through 6. Here's what it means with average scores and how you scored and what table rank means. And so, yeah, I did a whole series on that. And then there's a YouTube video associated with it too. And that's what actually led me to come up with these score sheet logbooks. Is after I was kind of teaching that, I was like, you know what, I should help people out. And so I shared the link to my digital version of the logbook as well as the print version. So yeah, because teams get their scores and they're like,
oh, trust me,
what do I do with this?
In May, I spend 3 weeks explaining results.
Yeah.
And it's conference call after conference call.
Yeah. Yeah. And one thing that I talked to in my last podcast about with the Jack scores is because I had a couple teams reach out and say, you know, how do I get 9s and 7s or 9s and 6s? It doesn't make sense to me. And so my advice to them was, well, look at your score, look at that judge, find that judge because you'll know his or her table number, and look at everything. Are they always a low score? Or if they're not, maybe there was a clerical error. If they're usually a low score, then you just landed on a shit table with a shit judge.
Judge retraining issue.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, the majority of the time it's a judge retraining issue.
Yeah. Yeah. And so one thing with the barbecue jackpot, so the J Cup is the judges certification update program that KCBS introduced in 2022. And it's not a requirement, but it's highly recommended. Well, for the barbecue jackpot, for all the CBJs, first of all, you have to be a CBJ, a certified barbecue judge, to judge my contest, but I'm also requiring that they take the J Cup. And I've had one person who's a master CBJ say, I'm not going to take it. I said, okay, then you're not going to judge. Like in my opinion, if KCBS says that these are the standards and as cooks, we're cooking to these standards, then I think the judges should be required to know what those standards are.
Agreed.
Like otherwise, why are we spending thousands of dollars competing if the judge doesn't know the same rules that we're cooking to? So I'm pleased to say that
entertain it.
Yeah, I have over 120 CBJs who've taken the J Cup for barbecue jackpot, plus most of them are master, like 70 of them are probably master CBJs. So I'm thrilled with that.
As a competitor, I totally respect that.
I kind of like that too.
Yeah.
I'm not a competitor, but I agree with it.
Others of people that feel entitled to be there, but a lot of these judges don't realize how much money we spend to be there.
Yeah. And I appreciate judges too, because they are spending money to judge and they're not getting paid. So I know they're volunteering. And because I'm a judge and because I'm a cook, I think I see both perspectives. But yeah, when someone is like, I'm not going to take the class, then I'm like, okay, well, then this one's just not a good fit for you.
This is the standard for my contest. And because of that, this is why my contest sells out in hours.
Yeah. Yeah. And fortunately, I've had I'd say 6 to 10 judges actually take the J Cup because they wanted to judge it. And I'm like, great, awesome.
Oh, you push back one time, they'll cave.
Yeah. And the KCBS Invitational had that in their rules, is that those were the seats they were going to fill first. So if we didn't fill enough judges seats with J Cup certifications, we would have gone, to the next group, but we're filling the seats. So I'm happy.
Speaking of seats, I've noticed that you've reclined back into your throne. And all I'm picturing is that all you need now is to put one of your trophies or something right at the pinnacle of the chair. So as you lean back, it's
they're kind of back there. So there you can see my hot dog.
There's the hot dog. So you can kind of sit back in your barbecue throne
Yeah, AK Barbecue Man is right. We do have about 10 reps coming out. We have 4 reps who are repping the contest, the Santiagos and the Macintoshes. And then there's reps from all over the country who are excited and who are coming out to just kind of be part of it.
And then Diane was saying too, thanks for being an organizer who holds the judges' feet to the fire.
You bet.
It's hard to also, from an organizer and a rep point of view, because I rep for Memphis and May, organizer for Arlington, and then cook and judge. I try to find a place where do I stay in my lane?
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to say no. And I try to be respectful to the reps that rep my contest. I'm trying to learn myself where my, what do you say, overruling powers lie without pissing
Sure.
people off. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, I had to run it by my reps, obviously, to say, hey, are you cool with me trying to enforce this? And they're basically, their attitude was, as long as we can get enough judges, then continue forward with that path. But if we reached a point where we weren't going to get judges, then yeah, we would have definitely had to make.
From a rep point of view, I can see that helps them not have to be so harsh or enforcing on their side. The responsibilities of handling that has been spread out a little bit, not all 100% to deal with it. And it probably helps your job be just a little bit easier as well. So that's definitely more respected. I just learned something new from that for my contest going forward, because I had a judge I would have loved to have said, kick to the curb and you're never coming back. But I was trying to overstep on the rep's toes. So learning that that's still an option, that the organizer still ultimately has the end. All say all.
The end say. But I think that don't you think, Michelle, that, I mean, I know you're trying not to, and you're trying to keep everybody happy, but as a competitor, both of you being competitors and both the judges and everything else, as a competitor, would that make you feel better to know that your judges are being held to not a higher standard, but just as high of standard as you are? And that if someone had to say no, whether they're butt hurt or whatever, they had to go, but you'd rather see, I'm proud of the organizer for making sure, and because both of you are in it. And over the last 3 or 4 years, I mean, it's no longer a cheap date to go to any of these. I mean, you guys are laying out a lot of time, and you're also laying out a lot of money for meat, that you want the best judges and you want the best, that's going to be taking that one bite.
That and the teams want to be heard. So if they have a legitimate complaint and if they feel is cheating, for example, we and Brandon, we tell people all the time, we can't fix it or stop it unless you tell it when it's happening. So you need to let us know immediately. And trying to get them to have the guts to rat someone out in the middle of an event, especially as big as Memphis in May. I said, so, dude, we're gonna go. We're gonna go investigate, and we have no problem BQing people. I was telling the sanctioning body this weekend. I said, look, we are 100% on board with making sure this contest is right. If someone's cheating, we're gonna BQ them, even if it's my husband. I don't care.
Sure, that's the point of a sanctioning body. Like, we have rules, we have standards, and so we just need to make sure they're all followed.
And it just helps. I think it helps the reps know that they have organizers that are just saying, "Oh yeah, I'll help you," versus "No, that's your job."
Right.
And from the competitor's point of view, to have an organizer that knows that and will stand up with the reps and back it up and fight for it and make sure your contest is right. That's the reason why you're selling out so fast. That's why my contest sold out in a month.
Right.
I probably would have sold out faster if people paid attention. And I had a wait list this year. I mean,
yeah, we do too. And I also required all payments within a week for registration.
You're not guaranteed till you pay.
Yeah, same. So, because what I have found with SDA, it's interesting, because when I started competing in KCBS, I felt like people registered, they paid, and they were pretty far, a good month or two in advance. Then when SDA happened, like, people weren't registering for SDA until like a week before. They're like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. And then it's like last minute, you're trying to figure out how many toilets do you need and all these things when I was organizing those comps. And KCBS cooks started to fall into that also, like kind of wait to the last minute to decide. And so with this one, I was like, look, we're posting it. You get 7 days. If you don't pay in 7 days, I mean, we can communicate if there's some circumstances, but otherwise, then you're out and I'm going to the next person on the list. And it worked. And, everybody's paid up. And as an organizer, that makes it so much easier.
Oh, also, like, we have especially for primary categories, we cut it off 2 weeks prior. You can't add or change. And everything has to be paid. Any changes have to be paid. You're done. I said to the SCA reps, so they have time to properly do their work.
Right.
This is volunteer work for them. This is not paid work for them.
Right.
I mean, get a little extra cash for their time, but they're still doing their day jobs. I would rather them have their data entry be right than be rushed.
Yeah. Right. And then you got to know how many judges you need and all that stuff. Yeah. Daddy Dutch Barbecue, I saw your comment. I will not be at the Royal this year. Sorry.
I like that Christie's. See, we don't even need Ryan.
Well, now you know how I got in here because I was doing the same thing she's doing. So now if I can't do it, you got Christy to jump in.
I know, right? She can be an alternative host. So excellent. So well,
that's
we're
exactly what this happened. I was reading their comments for them during my feed.
Yeah. Right. Well, so anyway, we're at our hour. Christy, thank you so much for coming on. We'll hopefully have you on again, and we'll have maybe to recap the competition that you did, the jackpot, and see what what the positives and negatives and learning experiences and
negatives.
Huh?
We never admit the negatives.
Well, there's always.
If the public didn't, it didn't happen.
But then I guess the
lessons learned.
Lessons learned. I guess I shouldn't say negatives. Lessons learned as to what And as always, if you want to leave a trinket, as you can see, I got this new banner. I got the Brad hat over here. I'm accepting any trinkets, barbecue trinkets here to go into my studio / apartment.
Lee Hinkle says, please make sure you all buy Christy's new book.
Oh, thank you.
And Lee, I will see you in 2 weeks, sir.
Yeah, and then go ahead and plug the book and rubs and all that other stuff again. Get it
so we can get. Yeah, if you just go to girlscangrill.com, I've got links to everything. This is my holiday grilling book. I've got my log sheets for KCBS and SDA, and then I've got my 3 rubs that are coming very, very soon. So just go to girlscangrill.com. That's the easiest way to find the links to everything. And then you can also follow me on all the socials at Girls Can Grill.
All right. So question. I'll ask you Brian says he wants to sign one. So if someone were to order, if they were to order a book through you, will you autograph them? Is there a way?
I will. There's not a way. So right now, this is the one thing with Amazon is they print on demand and they ship from Amazon. So I will have some at the barbecue jackpot that I'll sign. And I am working on ordering in bulk myself so that I can have my own supply here that I can do special orders like that. So
coming soon, John.
Yeah. But I can get you one in December also, John. But then I guess it's kind of late for holiday grilling. So maybe I'll get that to you before then.
He's still rotating around the country right now.
I know he's not. Yeah, that's right.
Now Diane May wants a prime rib. Well, so it's not too late to go to San. Oh no, it is. They closed 7 minutes ago. You can't get a rib.
Yeah. Oh well. All right, Christy. Thank you very much for coming on. It was gracious of you to spend some time with us here on Thursday night. And good luck with the competition. I'm kind of excited to hear how it turns out.
Thanks. I appreciate you guys having me on, and it was nice to meet you both finally.
All right. See ya. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
I can get her off I can't get her off the screen. There we go. Whew. It's always rough when Steve's got to be technical day. Thank God Christy was here to save the day.
That's great. Because I couldn't figure out how to block that one guy.
I couldn't. I've never even looked on it, so I don't know where she said she saw it so fast. I don't know how to.
When I said it, she knew where I was looking. We're looking in the comments. And
I didn't. I'm kind of scooting around and where did Aries finally? Hello, Aries. I was trying to see it. Oh, I see it. You got to click. I found it now. There's 3. You got to actually click on like the comment on the side. There's 3 little dots that come up and it says block user or delete comment. So yes, it's there.
So we kicked him off the show. Sorry, guy.
She must have been into it right away because we just mentioned it and it was like she was like gone.
Mm-hmm. Well, it wasn't about her. He had no business talking about me. This show's about her, not me.
Yeah,
I don't even know who he was.
I didn't recognize the name either, so I thought it was just a new user. I didn't know who knew who, so I wasn't sure if it was a Christie follower or if it was one of your friends just poking around. So yeah, no. So anyway, thank you for coming on today. And I know you're pooped from your competition, and it's always good I saw you and Brandon doing
the Sam's
barbecue at the Sam's. I saw that online. So
we got 3 more days of those, and then we're in world food mode.
That's all it's coming up. So next week,
4 events there this year, plus my son and my husband. So it's going to be. Yeah,
we may have to patch in somehow to that and maybe do a special broadcast of.
So that is November. Sorry, pull the camera up. November the 7th. Who you got on your show that day?
Is it a Thursday?
Yep. November 7th is a Thursday. Unless you want to do a special event.
November 7th it's going to be Dave from Butchers is going to be on.
Okay. Because we're not. Nobody's actively cooking that day.
And then the 8th, so it's 7th through the 10th. Is that what it is?
So the 8th is Miles. That's World Food Junior and the Welcome Committee. And then the next day is Brandon and myself an opening round. Then the next day is me doing Sam's Bike Club and Live Fire with a bunch of other people. And then hopefully we make finals. And then I'm also doing some other competitions there too. So I've got several rounds of things that I've signed up for there. And so that Thursday, if we can pipe in for a hot minute, that'd be cool. If not, if you want to do a special day, we can.
We will figure out a special day. Be interested. When is your cook on the? When is your cook on the? Hold on a second. When is your cook on the Saturday?
Let me look at that. I don't want to go back to the calendar at my phone. The Saturday, the 9th. That is our main day. So we will find out if we make finals that day, that evening, and that I'm done cooking. I think at like 6 o'clock in the evening.
Oh, okay. Because
So we can do like a 7 o'clock. Like, how do you feel it went, kind of thing, if you want.
Yeah, how do you feel? Yeah, we could just do a quick. I mean, it doesn't even have to. It's not a full show. It'd just be kind of like a
quick pop in.
Just a little quick video type of thing live. We can even do. Yeah, we could just do a quick little live, and because I think I got one. Craig Carter's got a big announcement that's coming up, so I think we're going to try and do one on the 2nd. I work that day, but we'll have to figure something out in the evening or something. But he's got some big announcement that he's going to.
So Friday, the evening of the 8th is a good one because Miles is just cooking and he'll have his awards. But like, let me know what days available you have, and we'll see which one makes the most sense. It's less congested.
Yeah, as we get closer. So anyway, as we're talking about future shows, next week is Halloween. No, but nobody's going to be here. Michelle's not going to be here. I'm not going to be here. Ryan's not going to be here. We are going to be out trick-or-treating. I will be out with Trisha and Tommy, and we will be out hopefully getting lots of Reese's Pieces, because those are my not Reese's Pieces, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Those are my favorite.
Right.
So if anybody sees me out, give me a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. So with that, and then we get into November. November is going to be, this year we're going to try and do as many Thanksgiving Day shows as we can possibly do. And that's why we have Dave from Butcher's on. He's going to go over Thanksgiving. And then 14th, Sunny is going to be cooking stuff. I don't know what she's going to be cooking. It's going to be dark there in Nashville. So I don't know what
she needs some lighting.
Hopefully she has lighting. I double checked with her and I said, are you sure you're still going to want to do this cook? Because it's going to be dark. Because I forgot the last time we were going to do cooking with Sunny, it ended up being dark and she didn't want to do it. So now we'll see. Maybe she's got lighting.
Tell her she wants that.
She's on her way to, by the way, she's on her way to Florida. I think I saw that she's going to be volunteering with Operation Barbecue Relief. Good job.
I thought she's going to be in Honda this weekend.
Huh?
I thought she was in Honda this weekend.
I don't know. I know she said she wasn't going to be somewhere. I think she wasn't going to go to the Royal, I think, or something like that, because she was going to go, she's going to do it. Her and her daughter are going to do a week with Operation Barbecue Relief. I have to go back and watch the video because I don't know exactly what day she's leaving. And then the 21st, I don't know why it's not on my calendar. There it is. The 21st will be Mr. Harry Sue will be back, and he's going to be talking Thanksgiving as well. So it is going to be a great, I'll probably do a post of upcoming November guests because we have some good ones. And then obviously the 28th is Thanksgiving, and then we'll save the exciting December. I was telling Michelle, and now if Michelle actually comes through with her, I was talking to her and Brandon about, I'll be done. Oh,
if he don't do it, I will. But
well, it'd be fun to have both of you do it. But
we can do it together. He's got some really good holiday dishes, the recipes that we can do in the kitchen would be nice.
I mean, he's got personality for. He's been on the show. He's got a good personality.
Better personality than I do.
He's got a good personality for it. And then, so guys, and so I was talking about, this is like unusually strange because but if they do that on the 19th, I am booked through the whole end of the year. Here comes Brandon. Where's he at?
Miles.
Miles.
Hi.
Get all the way in and say hi.
Hi.
So what are you doing next month? Tell me where you're going next month. World Food Junior.
World Food Junior.
Well, Lisa's excited about it.
All right, hold on.
I'm snacking, Mom. I'm snacking, Mom. Leave me alone. I just want to snack.
He lost his playoff game tonight.
Oh, well. that happens, and then you know what? Then you got next year, and you can hopefully do better. And
next year he goes to middle school league. He
Well,
got to start playing tackle.
You can still do it. So.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, that's part of it. I lost a lot of games. Trust me on it. Not baseball, football, whatever. I lost a lot of football games. But anyway. All right, Michelle, thank you very much. And
who's up next week again? Nothing. Nobody.
Nobody. It's Halloween. Yeah, we don't need anybody.
The Reese peanut butter cups are up next week.
Reese's peanut butter cups next week. If you see me out walking around. I do have to say, I mean, if you look at the top of the screen, whichever side it's on, she got 19 comments or 19 reactions out of that. That's a pretty good night.
No, she did good. I think the interaction was really good. I think a lot of it was informative on a lot of different things. So.
Yeah, and thank you to everybody that actually commented and made, because that makes the show a little bit easier and more fun is if everybody's participating. So
questions in the comments are very important. It helps you get the information you want to hear out that you haven't heard yet. So we are reading them and we are communicating them as much as we can. So
yeah, Michelle actually was responding. She was actually responding to some by typing, which I saw, which was actually kind of cool. So yeah, and then we have people on Instagram. Greg, thanks for signing in on Instagram. And so we'll see everybody back here on November 5th. Ryan will be back. He's not really fired. He, like said at the beginning of the show, he went to a wake, so he took the night off. So
maybe he should shave and like wear a wig so he looks like me. No.
I'd like to see that. Have him come in one time with the shaving. I'm at that stage. Speaking of, I don't know if you can see it. See how it's like starting to curl down here.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to grow it out. I'm trying to grow it a little bit longer. And we were talking about this when Ray Lampy was on. He says, growing the thing is fine. He said, but you reach a stage where it looks absolutely awful and it becomes annoying. And I think I'm at that stage because I can't stand all this curling thing.
Not everybody can do the long ones.
Yeah, I know. I get that. Yeah. But I'm just trying to do my best. But if it keeps curling like this, I'm done because it just drives me nuts. Because like this piece over here wants to go this way. And it just
beard oil.
I got to do all that stuff too, but it's starting to curl a little bit.
You get a Manscaped.
I want one of those like wavy beards,
get a curving iron.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a whole topic for another show. All right, Michelle.
Not this one.
As always, everybody, please be kind and courteous to everybody, especially this year as it is an election year. Everybody just be kind and courteous to everybody. It'd be nice. Early vote. I did it on Tuesday, so if you can. I don't care who you're voting for, so don't even tell me who you're voting for. Nobody even let the world would be a lot better off, especially in this country, if everybody just didn't say who they liked and just went about their business. Because I really don't care who you like, but I do think that voting is one of our biggest, if not our greatest, freedoms that we have as citizens of this country. So please get out there and vote. And I don't care who you vote for. You can vote for Jimmy Page, okay? I don't care if you vote for...
You can vote for Ryan.
You can vote for Ryan. You can vote for me. You can vote for Michelle. I don't care who you vote for. Just get out and exercise your right to vote. If you can get there, do it early. I voted in person early. I used a paper ballot, so anybody who's worried about anything that's going on, everything was fine. So with that, and as always, shop local, shop small, unless you need to get some of Christie's stuff that's only available on Amazon. And in that case, you have to go to Amazon. So, but take care of your small local stores because we love you. So that's it. That's all I got.
Bye, y'all.
Yeah, look. Oh, wait, one last comment. There it is. See? Yes, I grew up where my parents didn't talk about who they voted for. I 1,000% agree. Just nobody cares. I don't care.
Yep, agreed.
Everybody's just looking for attention. All right. Bye, everybody. Bye. Bye. I got to try and press the button and wave at the same time. Bye. Bye.